with some testimonials. I know for sure we've got at least one person on here. It's going to be very fun to interview. I'll start with her. And that is Lisa Bruner. Are you out there, Lisa? I know she's out there.
Here we go.
There you are.
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing great, busy. The kids are out of school, so we're running around like crazy, but this week's
I'm picking
fun.
my kids up tonight at the airport. They're flying into Florida tonight. They're on spring break from college.
What part of Florida are you in?
Okay, so I'm in Palm Bay, Florida. It's close to Melbourne, the Space Coast. We see rocket launches.
Oh, cool.
The east side, cool. Florida.
Very cool. Very cool. Who originally shared ER Shred with you? Can you remember?
Well, I just, like a lot of people, I stumbled upon it. Just somebody in another group posted ER Shred and talking about fate. It was a time in my life when I needed some help.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
9 months ago.
Cool. Okay. 9 months. Got that.
9 months.
Just so everyone can get to know you better, I know you've been on before and this is an update and I really appreciate you coming on to update us, but what is your passion in life?
Kind of two things. I'm just passionate about living life to the fullest, making the best out of every day, being active, having adventures, and I do a lot to do that. And then the other thing, I'm trying to inspire others to join me, to, just be healthy. Like what I've learned and what I'm doing, I want others to feel as good as I do. I keep saying that. I always want other people to feel like I do, and they can if they do what we're doing.
And you have helped people, by the way. I've heard your name come up, multiple times. People have said that, you had an impact on them. You inspired them to get going. So, you've had that impact, and I know how meaningful that is. I know how good that feels.
Yes.
And so I kind of know why that would be I understand why that would be a passion of yours, because it feels so good to see people transform and to see the changes and to feel like you had a part in that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Gosh, the
Yeah.
messages you get, people thanking you and just their excitement when they get the results and they come alive. And there's nothing like that. It's just, it's a blessing. A blessing.
Well, let me ask you this, Lisa. So can you remember back your original, what I'd like to do is maybe talk about your original result you had with ER Shred and then kind of like what has transpired since?
Yeah. So, I started following the group 9 months ago. And at that time, I'm getting older, I'm putting on weight, I'm going through a change. I'm just not feeling like I was used to feeling in the past, and I'm just not feeling good. And I'm researching things about carbs and different things. And then the ER Shred popped up. And it was totally different because I was at a point where I stayed away from butter for years. I was olive oil, right? And I was diagnosed with celiac in my 40s 13 years ago. And so that kind of ruled my life, where I had to find gluten-free bread, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free crackers. And then to get the ER Shred, where I don't need the gluten-free stuff. I don't need it anymore. And so
it's an afterthought, right? That's crazy you point that out, because I also would try to go gluten-free and it was like painful. And yet I've been gluten-free for 21 months and it's like an afterthought.
Yeah. And so, okay, I'll stay on track. My first shred, July got my husband to do it with me, and just loved how simple it was, you know, with the shakes and the meat, and getting used to doing the butter, and eating pork rinds, and but day 6 for me, I came alive. You guys talk about it, and it happened. I did that with my first shred. I jumped out of bed. I went outside, started weeding. It's like 6 in the morning. That's not me. I'm working in the yard. My husband gets up. He can't find me. I don't even know how it happened. It just happened. And I just knew things were changing, and this was it. I was hooked. This was it.
What was the, like, that come alive moment? I mean, this is called the come alive call. I mean, we obviously are all very fond of that. I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know. It's like a conversion.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I try to explain it, but for me, it was just getting up, waking up early, and having this energy just to go, get outside, be in nature. I don't know. And
I feel like, tell me if this resonates at all. I feel like when I would look at my children, young children, and I would think, how do they snap out of bed and have all that energy? And how do they go all day long? And then I would think, man, I would just kill to feel like that. And then all of a sudden I did. And it was like, whoa,
we do.
like I didn't think this would ever happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what this has given me. Just
Yeah.
a younger life, turning back the clock. I just feel so good.
Cool. So, and then I mean, for those that are out there that are interested in such, did that show up on the scale and in the inches?
Yeah. Yeah. My first shred, I lost 10 pounds. I wasn't really good with the inches, but my gauge was, I took pictures, and I had these back rolls that we get. And so I went after my first shred, took another back picture, and they were disappearing. So I got rid of the back rolls, and I just knew I was losing inches and the pounds, and then just lighting up inside. It was awesome.
What other non-scale, do you remember any other non-scale victories besides just feeling really good? Did you notice anything else specific?
Yeah, mental clarity, just feeling like I could remember things. I won't go into too much detail, but I remembering like who I worked with when I was in my 20s, and their names, and I could see their faces, and that just felt different. I just knew things were getting clearer, and I was starting to remember things that I
came out of that carb coma.
Yeah. I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me this, Lisa, what unfolded thereafter? Like, you did the shred, and then like what unfolded for you thereafter? I mean, the reason I ask is because, believe me, everybody is going to watch you, and they're going to be like, okay, here's this gal, Lisa. She's been doing this 9 months, and she's still pretty dang passionate about it. Like, how would you explain what unfolded thereafter?
Okay, well, I wanted, coming out of 11 days, I wanted a plan, because I didn't want to go back to where, so we sat down, my husband and I, and we had a plan where we were going to continue with the shakes and the meat. And we started adding in some vegetables, avocados, sweet potatoes, those kind of a few things. And then we're going to keep doing cleansing, 2-day cleanses, not just 2-day cleanses. That was a shift for me when I did the air shred. So now we'll only do 2-day cleanses. But so yeah, we went into maintenance, just added a few things back in slowly, but just made it work in our life, because we wanted to keep feeling good. And then I've done 5 complete shreds since then. I keep doing shreds. We do, because it just takes it to another level.
Isn't it different though? Because weren't Lisa, you were with Isagenix for how many years?
I came in 2015.
Yeah.
And
okay. So
and had great results back in the day.
For
but
sure.
it
We all
took
did.
me longer, took me
Yeah.
took me a lot longer.
The only thing I was going to point out was this thing that we've all noticed, which is it's just so interesting how people, they'll do a shred, and whereas before, like, I kid you not, when I would coach people in traditional Isagenix, I would be coaching them and I would be like, ooh, I know this is kicking their butt. And and it would just take a very special kind of person to really do it and do it well. But most of the time, I think that I would anticipate that it was going to kick their butt. It was going to feel like deprivation. It was going to feel like punishment. I mean, just being totally honest. And now we have all these people who they want to shred again, and they want to shred again, and they want to shred again, right?
Yeah, well, okay, I'll be honest. I shared in the beginning, 2015, with 40 people. I don't know, maybe not even a handful stuck with it.
Mhm.
And now I'm starting just naturally sharing again because I feel so good. And they're sticking with it.
They're sticking with it.
They're doing multiple shreds. They're sticking with it. So it's different, and it's amazing.
If I were to ask you, Lisa, like, have you begun to learn your body's language? What would you, how would you respond to that?
Just it's a little more sensitive, like oh, I started in July, and then so I went through the winter. I made some homemade chili, and I think just mixing the beans and the meat, I felt the worst I've ever felt having that. And I just knew,
Wow.
okay, it's not going to work for me. The combination of maybe the beans and the meat and the tomatoes, I felt horrible. And it was instant,
Yeah.
maybe, well, like later in the day or the next morning, but wasn't good. So
And so the body, because you stripped down to a baseline and you got used to operating, and maybe we could say you revisit the baseline, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
then from there, you're able to interpret what isn't optimal.
right.
And at that point, you're able to determine what specifically is wreaking havoc, what specifically culprit, if you will. I don't eat beans myself. I'm not saying that everybody shouldn't eat beans. Your dietary blueprints out there could be unique as a fingerprint, but
Mhm.
I don't eat any beans, and that's because of the negative effect that they have on me. Um, I just say this: I once ate these black bean chips. It's one of the worst things I ever did in my life.
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
So
like chips, chips, you just can't stop eating chips. You just want to eat more chips. And I ate a lot of those black bean chips. And that, all I'm going to say is that was a big mistake. What about your dietary blueprint? Just for all the people out there, are you like me? Like, I think my dietary blueprint is I'm probably in the way of maybe 24 foods that I operate with, and that are my base food blueprint. Would you say you're there? Are you more like a dozen or 2 dozen? Do you even know?
I haven't counted, but I can tell you I eat, grass-fed meat and steaks and fish. And then, my avocados, my asparagus, red peppers, onions. It's enough. It's not a lot, but it's just enough for me to feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still feel good?
I do. And I don't miss the bread or the gluten-free pasta and that kind of stuff. I found a pasta made out of chickpeas and lentils. And
Uh-huh.
I'll have that every once in a while. And I'll have it because I know it's going to give me some fiber and some protein. It's not, empty calories.
Sure.
So I've been creative in that way, but
I
yeah.
love it. I just want to tell you that I love it. And I love it when people can just be open and honest, because sometimes when I say that my food blueprint is probably 24 foods, it sounds like a lot, but it's actually compared to the average person, it's really not a lot. And yet to me, I don't feel any deprivation whatsoever. I feel like I really don't feel deprived. I think if I felt deprived, I wouldn't be able to keep doing this for so long.
Oh, no, and I'm sorry, I forgot eggs. I eat a lot of
Yeah.
eggs.
Oh, good.
I
Yeah,
eat my
good. I do
eggs,
too.
my grass-fed butter.
That's awesome. I love it. Let me think of another. Well, let me do this just since we have you on. Jesse, if you're out there, or Susan, if you're out there, if you guys have any questions for our teacher in the moment right now, Lisa, I just want to put that out there because Lisa, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that it scares them. The future scares them. Are you scared, Lisa? Are you scared of where do I go from here?
Heck no, I feel like we have this gift now that we don't worry about. I just know with the intermittent fasting and with the food I'm putting in my body, I'm not worried about the arthritis that my mom has. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried about diseases. I feel like we've got the best fighting chance because of how we're fueling our bodies. And exercise. I mean, I work out 5 days a week. I lift weights. I do yoga. Yeah.
I love it. Have your results continued to improve upon what you initially did?
Yeah. Yeah, my muscles, I'm gaining more muscles. I'm more defined. And just the energy to want to do it, to work out. And I play tennis, I golf, I mountain bike. We also have a home in Idaho. So I'm going to go back to Idaho in the end of April. I'm going to be mountain biking. I snow ski in Idaho. And yeah.
You are a real true ER shredder. You really are.
Well,
I'm so
thank you.
impressed.
You gave me this life and this energy.
I'm so
good.
impressed. I'm so grateful. Is there anybody that you shared with who has had a dramatic result as well? Have you seen this kind of result with other people?
I see. Yeah. I see. How many have I shared with now? I don't know, 8, 10 people. And they're coming alive. They're getting more energy. They're losing the weight if they needed to lose weight. They're lighting up. Melanie Stout, I don't know if she's on here. She lit up.
Yep.
And I have other friends who just continue to shred because they've got it. They see it. They see how good it makes them feel. They see how simple it is. And then they learn the science behind it, and then, and I know I'm vibrating on a different level. My mom and my father-in-law noticed it. They just enjoy my husband and I coming around, visiting them. And we're just vibrating at a different level.
Oh man, thank you so much. That's awesome, Lisa. You're the best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me back on.
And keep coming in the group, because that's another thing that I've noticed about you is you're so supportive of other people. Are you doing that because you have something to gain? I mean, what's that all about? Why do you feel drawn to the community?
No, well, the community helped me, got me, to do this. I followed Mimi, Susan, Jesse, all of you. You guys gave me this gift. And so if I can support others and if I can encourage others, pass it on, that's what I'm going to do.
We love you so much. I just want to say that while I've got you here. We love you so much. Your energy, it's just, man, like, we're grateful for you. I want you to know that. And thank you. Thank you so much for being willing to do this tonight and kind of speak to the process. And thank you for all the people you're helping and all the support you've been rendering for all these, even strangers. Susan, what's up?
Thank you. Hi,
well,
Susan.
I just want to say to Lisa, you can see it. coming through. You know, you just have this glow about you. And, you know, you hit all the buttons. You know, I love what you said when you said a younger life, because it's that vibrancy, right? And, you know, we look out and so many people have lost that. And, you know, here you are like this beacon of light and you're sharing it. So she said, like you're a shredhead, like you hit everything. And I wanted to just speak to, because it hasn't come up about the celiac and the gluten-free thing, right?
Mhm.
So I work in a functional medicine practice and we put a lot of people in gluten-free. And it's the same thing with the diet mindset. So you're looking for the foods that are sort of like the foods that you couldn't have and got you into trouble in the first place. And they have no value. They have a high glycemic load. They're problematic. And so I just wanted to put it out there like that, because it's so interesting to me, but I did it when I was in the diet mindset. Like I would do Weight Watchers. The first thing I looked at was what could I have that was sweet, right? Same thing with the gluten-free. And so, you know, just eliminating that is huge, and getting yourself where your body is. Do you have bona fide celiac? Like if you were to eat something now, you would have, yeah. So
Yeah, I had the scope, I had the blood test. Yeah, it's bad for me.
So then this must also feel like freedom to you. You know, you found
Exactly.
your blueprint. Beautiful. I
Yeah,
loved everything
yeah.
you said, honey.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for all your inspiration. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Susan, as well.